You're listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast, where our mission is to make you more money so you'll have less stress and more free time. It's all about mindset, attitude, and taking action. And your host, Wayne Weathersby, knows how to make that happen. He's negotiated and closed over $150 million in contracts while building businesses with proven success strategies that he wants to share with you. So if you're ready to make some real money, then let's get to it. Here's Coach Wayne.
Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day, great night, whenever you're listening to this. We are going to continue our series on gaining power. So today we're going to talk about tips for becoming a more powerful person. So like we were talking about, power is something cultivated over time. And there are several tactics you can begin to use immediately. Incorporate these ideas into a long-term strategy, if you ask me. Any short-term gains in power are easily lost. Keep the long-term perspective. And let's get started today. It'll make your life a lot easier. You can build power very quickly with these techniques. First, I want to talk about keep your eyes open for unique opportunities. See, maybe your department needs someone to work and go between, like a liaison between finance and sales department. This might be an excellent opportunity to make new connections, fill a unique role, and gain some insight, right? You can also create your own opportunities. What improvement can you make at work or in your job? How can you provide a solution that simultaneously helps you as well? So you might create something that helps you do your job better. Why not package that? Now you have knowledge that somebody else in your position doesn't have, and you can make their job easier. You might even be able to monetize it. Know the department that matters the most. For example, at Coca-Cola, they create many of the raw ingredients that are used in the production of their own soda. Another department produces raw materials from the outside sources, such as corn syrup. Another department produces the bottles and actually bottles the actual soda. However, the various departments that fulfill these roles aren't the true source of the power at Coca-Cola. Marketing and sales run the company. You'll never become the CEO of Coca-Cola without being and knowing marketing and sales, even if you know how to make the product. Know where the power lies within a company. The best way to do this is to examine the resumes of the people at the top, particularly the CEO. Know the salaries in your company. The department with the best salaries or experienced employees is often the department within the whole company that has the most power. Consider where you're going to thrive in that system. The powerful departments might seem the best place to be, right? However, the most of the competition lies there as well. It's very competitive, so you got to be ready for that. As a less influential department might be a better choice in the early part of your career. For example, I'm reading about the Coca-Cola company right now. For example, rising in their IT department at Coca-Cola might be relatively easy. Then you can move to a company that specializes in the IT, and you'll already have a head start on your people there at that new company. See where I'm going with that? You might need to leverage that. Knowledge is power. Understand the likability is overrated, at least in my opinion, where workplace success is concerned. The average person believes that more people will help you if you're nice, but that's not always true. It's true when you and the other person have an equal amount of power. It's not true in the workplace, which is toughness and negativity have been found to influence how competent people believe you are. Being likable at work really undermines how competent you appear to others. Right? Everybody loved the class clown. He wasn't the smartest guy in the room, though. When you're tough, people would rather join you than oppose you, I promise. We're seeing that right now with the whole dynamic with the presidential situation, and I'm not gonna go political here, but I'm just telling you, we had a t our last president had a grip on people as a powerful person. Things right now, we do not have that. People don't see us as powerful. When you're tough, people would rather join you than oppose you. Psychologists believe this is due to the desire to avoid your wrath and be close to the power source in case they need it. The other people in power don't care about how much they like you. They're much more concerned with what you can do for them. So I want you to remember that people will also forgive easily. It's human nature to forgive. Avoid worrying about stepping on a few toes. You'll do yourself more good than harm, and you'll be forgiven and still gain power. And then you got to stand out, get noticed, be the guy in the red dress. That's what my coach tells me. Walk into a room wearing a tux like all the rest of the guys, or walk into the room wearing something bright and shiny or a dress. People are going to remember you. Get noticed. And it might just take you asking for a meeting with the vice president or the CEO. I promise you, most of your coworkers are going to avoid that like the freaking plague. Be willing to break a few rules for good reasons. Those who follow all the rules rarely get into trouble, but they also very rarely excel. Have you ever looked through a stack of resumes when you're trying to hire someone? They look like they are punched out of a copy machine. They all look the same. Same isn't true about employees. When a manager looks at his employees, it's like an assembly line of just spitting out the same thing over and over and over again. Overwhelming opinion is that they're all essentially the same. No one stands out. You got to stand out sometimes. Obviously, you can put these ideas into action. You got to be brave enough to stand out and break or bend a few rules. Those that want to blend in don't become powerful. I promise you. You're encouraged, and your courage is an important component. So you got to be brave. See, Susan B. Anthony even said it. The older I get, the greater power I seem to have to help the world. I'm like a snowball. The further I am rolled, the more I gain. So, what do you have to offer your friends and your enemies? Bet you never thought about that. You have real power. You must have the ability to make your friends happy and your enemies miserable. Let me say that again. To have real power, you must have the ability to make your friends happy and your enemies miserable. Why do politicians have so much power? They can help their friends and punish their enemies. There you go. They have unique resources to do that. How can you use this fact to your advantage? What can you do if you don't have a job with considerable power or a large budget? You got to develop the resources you need to increase your influence. Build your resources. Now is a good time to put your hands and your happy face on and make some friends at work. Remember, being nice works with people on your level. So offer compliments, attend after hours get togethers, attend birthday parties, and go out to lunch with colleagues. Reach out to those in other departments as well. See, you're building your sphere, your network of supporters and raving advocates. Offer to help people. Your boss probably has some stupid mundane work that needs to be done that he doesn't want to do. You might be able to assist, but you got to have the balls to go out and ask. Go join a professional organization and contribute. Contribution to the community, to a newsletter, or help with a website. Maybe consider being on a board of directors. Join a prominent local charity. Your city has charities, I promise. And that attracts all the local bigwigs. So in your area and in your town, you're going to get access to the bigwigs and their spouses. It might be a food bank or the city zoo or a church. Look at the board members of your local charities. If it reads like a who's who of your city, that's where you want to be. Build your social network also. Having the right friends and connections can help your goal to become more powerful. There are countless opportunities to make more business and social contacts, I promise. But it takes effort, it takes action, it takes attitude. And then when you attend those functions, you got to introduce yourself to the people you don't know. Stay in touch with them. Stay in touch with people you've lost track of. Stay in contact with those that you know, socially and professionally. Somebody's always waiting for somebody to call them. Just be that guy or that gal. Start making calls. Hey, you're on the top of my mind. Hey, you crossed my mind today when I was walking downtown and realized that we haven't talked in a while. You'll be amazed of the conversations. Or call some folks up and use the "Hey, I need your help" script. It works in any industry. There's not an industry that it does not work. "Hey, I need your help." "Hey, Bob, I need your help." Some coworkers and I are having a conversation about plumbing. I know you're a plumber, and I just had a couple questions for you. Do you find that people are upgrading their plumbing? Are they winterizing their houses? How often do they change their water heater? It doesn't matter. You're starting a conversation about their expertise. They're going to appreciate that you think of them enough to ask them those questions. You never know what that's going to lead to. I 100% guarantee you it will not lead to a referral or business with that person if you're not front of mind. There's where the power is. Ask important people for advice. Other people love to give advice and feel closer to those who ask for it. Again, you got to use your charities and professional organizations for networking opportunities and introduce yourself. Don't be a chicken shit. Recognize the time constraints you have. Networking and maintaining that network is very, very time consuming. So you got to take advantage of it. Position yourself properly within your social networks. Positioning is everything. Do you want to start in the back of the pack or do you want to start in the pole position or somewhere close to the front? It's not just about how many people you know and how important they are. It's your position within that network that matters. You have to bring some value. So that means you got to have a source of communication. Be the person that people ask for advice. If someone asks a question, they will contact you or someone else. If I need a question about real estate, am I going to call that guy that keeps in touch with me, or I'm just going to randomly call somebody? You've got to be able to position yourself between departments at work as well. So when departments talk to each other, try to ensure that the information passes through you. As you gain more power, you have more to offer your friends and family and your network, and a bigger stick to hold over your enemies. Your enemies are the people that are not as equipped, not as connected as you are. Your resources are the key. Build a strong social network and position yourself accordingly. Always consider that you have to have something to offer and make yourself important to that other party. The more you can do for them, the more they will likely want to talk to you and use you. Then you got to convey the power with your behavior and your words. This is a big one for me. When you look and sound like a powerful person, you'll be perceived as having power and gain many of the benefits of being a powerful person. The way you act and speak affects how others feel and view you. Most people don't give these two important issues anywhere near enough conscious consideration. See, your actions and words, you have to use them to your advantage. Dress the part. Avoid dressing like a teenager or your peers. Dress like the person that already has the job you want. Dress like you're more powerful and people will believe you're more powerful. I used to see this all the time in my dealership. My salespeople would come in. Some of them looked like they just rolled out of bed. Some of them looked like they just mowed the lawn. Always had this one guy that came in and he was dressed to the nines all the time. You'd be surprised the amount of people that would walk in the dealership and walk right up to him and ask him if he was the manager. Never happened to the dude in shorts wearing high top Chuck Taylors to a professional job. Consider others' aspects of your appearance too. This includes your hair and your facial hair. Sorry, guys. Be willing to express anger. Studies have shown that people willing to show anger are viewed as stronger and more powerful. Interestingly, sadness and regret are also associated with weakness. Now, again, when I'm talking about anger, I'm talking about anger for something not taking the right path or the right process to have a positive outcome for you or your client. Totally different. Stand and walk tall. If you're powerful and confident, you won't make yourself smaller. You'll make and move the authority and have yourself as being seen. Maintain a posture that denotes that power. Number 4, you got to stay calm. Powerful people aren't easily flustered. Even if you feel compelled to respond to someone quickly, take your time and compose yourself. Powerful people take all the time they need and maintain control over their emotions and mental states. Calm, cool, and collected. That's who I want to deal with. I don't want to deal with the guy that's freaking out or a maniac. Here's a controversial one. Interrupt others and don't let others interrupt you. People with power are comfortable interrupting others as long as you have something of value or you are trying to move things along a faster path. They also stop people from interrupting them when they communicate. And you got to learn how to influence others with your words. You teach others how to treat you. Can you tell a good story? Can you inspire others to act? Can you change someone's emotions with your words? Can you make others believe you and follow you? Remember, you teach others how to treat you. Ensure that you're teaching them to treat you as an authority. Present yourself in a way that convinces the people around you that you're important and in charge. Put the focus on yourself and build those important skills. So, in conclusion, depending on your starting point, increasing the level of power you have over your career and your life can quite be really easy or quite challenging. You choose. Even if you're starting your first job, you can build your power and authority. These strategies are very, very easy to implement with practice. And remember, we're not talking about being ugly and being an authoritarian. We're talking about being powerful. Being powerful is the difference between Tom Brady and a third string quarterback. He knows what he's doing. He's powerful. He he's powerful in the range that when he goes to a team, he attracts other powerful people, which then make them powerful and make them a winner. It isn't necessary to be one of the superhumans you read about in history books. The bookstores are filled with autobiographies of the most powerful people in the world. You don't need to do anything that impressive to dramatically improve your life in a huge way. Does playing the power game sound unappealing to you? Have But you haven't tried it, right? If you must be at work all day, you might as well make the most of it and try to run the place. And you know what? Show up every day and work and run the place like it's your money. That'll change your whole perspective. The benefits of going beyond in the workplace, it carries over to everyday life as well, I promise. So to start, I want you to assess your situation and create a plan. What skills do you need? What skills do you have? Who are the important players? What resources do you currently have at your disposal? What is your path to the top? Start tomorrow and use these tips and gain power in your life in all aspects. You and your family will benefit greatly. Hope you guys have a great day. Be safe. Take care. Sell a bunch. Say something nice to somebody.
You've been listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast with Coach Wayne. Join us next time for more money-making strategies to help you have less stress and more free time. Follow us on Facebook at Productive Not Busy, on Instagram at frontline.coach.wayne, and on Twitter at Wayne New Jr. And remember, be productive, not busy.